Look, I need to be real with you for a second. Right now, as you're watching this, you might be sitting there thinking your life is going to change someday. Maybe when you get that promotion, maybe when you find the right relationship, maybe when the stars align perfectly and everything just falls into place. But let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. How many times have you told yourself that story? How many New Year's resolutions have come and gone? How many Monday mornings have you promised yourself, this is the week everything changes? Here's what nobody wants to admit. We're all walking around with this invisible weight on our shoulders. It's the weight of every promise we broke to ourselves. Every time we said we'd wake up early and didn't. Every time we said we'd start that business, write that book, go to that gym, have that difficult conversation. And we chickened out. That weight gets heavier every single day we continue the same patterns. You know what the crazy part is? Deep down, you already know exactly what you need to do. You don't need another course. You don't need another motivational video. You don't need more information. You need to stop lying to yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. I'm going to tell you something that might hurt, but it's the truth. The reason your life looks the way it does right now is because of the choices you made yesterday, last week, last month, last year. Not your parents' choices, not your boss's choices, not the economy, not bad luck, your choices. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good, because that discomfort is the first sign that you're ready to change. Here's the beautiful part though. If your choices got you here, your choices can get you out. And you don't need a year to turn your life around. You don't need 6 months. You need 24 hours of complete honesty and absolute commitment. Let me break down what actually happens in your brain when you keep breaking promises to yourself. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip the workout, every time you choose the easy path, you're literally rewiring your brain to accept mediocrity. You're teaching yourself that your word means nothing. You're programming yourself to be someone who talks big but delivers small. And the scariest part, after a while, you don't even notice anymore. It just becomes who you are. But here's where it gets interesting. The same mechanism works in reverse. When you do the hard thing, when you keep the promise, when you choose discipline over comfort, you're building new neural pathways. You're literally becoming a different person at a biological level. And it doesn't take as long as you think. Scientists call it neuroplasticity. I call it proof that you're never stuck. Your brain is designed to adapt, to change, to evolve. But it needs you to give it a reason. It needs you to show up differently. So let's talk about these next 24 hours. Not in some abstract, motivational poster kind of way. I mean, practically. What are you actually going to do? First thing you need to understand is this: you cannot think your way into a new life. You have to act your way into one. Most people have it backwards. They think they need to feel motivated first, then they'll take action. But that's not how human psychology works. Action creates motivation. Movement creates momentum. You start, and then you feel like continuing. Here's your first lesson: win the morning, win the day. And I don't mean wake up at 5 a.m. if you're currently waking up at noon. I mean wake up 1 hour earlier than you do now. Just one. And in that hour, do something that the person you want to become would do. Maybe it's exercise. Maybe it's reading. Maybe it's working on your side business. But do something that makes you respect yourself a little more. Because here's what happens. When you start your day with a win, you create psychological momentum. Your brain says, I already did something hard today. I'm on a roll. Let's keep going. But when you start your day by hitting snooze, scrolling social media, and rushing through everything, you've already lost before the day began. Second lesson, your environment is controlling you more than you realize. Look around at your physical space right now. Is it set up for the person you want to become or the person you currently are? If you want to eat healthy, but your kitchen is full of junk food, you're fighting an uphill battle. If you want to be productive, but your workspace is cluttered and chaotic, you're sabotaging yourself. In the next 24 hours, change one thing in your environment that's been holding you back. Just one. Remove the temptation. Add the tool you need. Rearrange the space to support your goals instead of working against them. This isn't optional. Your willpower is limited, but your environment works 24/7. Third lesson, you need to understand the power of micro commitments. Most people fail because they try to change everything at once. They're going to eat perfect, exercise twice a day, wake up at dawn, start 3 businesses, and become a different person by Friday. And by Sunday, they're back to their old patterns, feeling like a failure. Here's what actually works. Pick one thing, one behavior, one habit, and commit to it for the next 24 hours. Not forever, not even for a week, just 24 hours. Because you can do anything for 24 hours. You can be disciplined for one day. You can be focused for 24 hours. You can resist temptation for one day. And here's the secret. When you stack enough 24-hour wins together, you wake up 6 months from now and you don't even recognize your old life. Fourth lesson, you have to get honest about your excuses. Write them down, all of them. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have support. I don't have the right connections. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too tired. I'll start when things calm down. Now look at that list and ask yourself, are these reasons or are these excuses? Because there's someone out there with fewer advantages than you who's winning. There's someone with less time, less money, more problems, and they're still showing up every single day. The difference isn't their circumstances, it's their standards. They decided their excuses weren't more important than their dreams. Fifth lesson, and this might be the most important, you need to stop waiting to feel ready. You're never going to feel ready. Confidence doesn't come first. Courage doesn't come first. Action comes first, and everything else follows. The person you admire, the one who seems to have it all figured out, they started scared. They started messy. They started before they were ready. The only difference is they started. So here's what I want you to do in the next 24 hours. I want you to take one action toward your biggest goal that scares you. Not a small step, not something comfortable. Something that makes your heart race a little. Send that email. Make that call. Post that content. Have that conversation. Apply for that opportunity. Because here's what happens when you do scary things. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. And that changes everything. Your brain has been running the same program for years. Same thoughts, same actions, same results. The next 24 hours are your chance to install a new program. To show yourself that you're not who you thought you were. That you're capable of more. That your past doesn't define your future. This isn't about perfection. This is about progress. This is about proving to yourself that you can keep a promise. That when you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. Because the moment you become someone who keeps promises to yourself, everything changes. Your confidence grows. Your self-respect grows. Your results grow. And suddenly the life you thought was impossible starts becoming inevitable. The next 24 hours start now, not tomorrow. Now, what are you going to do with them?